Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we got some wonderful news. We found out that the Whisper's mate Lightsong is finally pregnant with a litter of kittens, and the timing is kind of perfect because our last litter has now become a little bit older. They have aged up into fledglings. So yeah, we have 3 new fledglings, which I'm sure you might be able to spot around the camp. We'll take a closer look at them in a second. But things are looking good for the clan, guys. It is currently Moon 37. We are still in New Leaf. Let's quickly check up on the leader's den. We have an ally in one of the vampire hunting clans. The other 2 are still pursuing us. With their, very hostile demeanors and attitudes. But let's go to events and see what's going on with our cats. Okay, Lightsong is unsure how many kits she'll have. Hopefully it's a bigger litter because I think we've been lucky this time around, like with Vampire Clan, because we haven't had any litters with just a single kitten. We've had 2 or 3. But it would be great if we can hit some of the bigger numbers. I don't know what it was, but when I was looking back in our Luminous clan kittens, I don't know why we started off having a ton of kittens. We used to have big litters. We used to get 4s and 5s and 6s, and then suddenly it went down to 1. And actually, I don't think we've ever bounced back. And back then when I started, I thought that was the norm. And then I had people in the comments telling me that, oh, you're so lucky that you have, these big litters. But then I didn't realize how much luck was involved because I thought that was fairly normal. But apparently that is not the case, as I have discovered. But fingers crossed, she's going to have a bigger size this time around. Hazelpelt is no longer sore. And then... oh wait, hold on, before we get to fledglings. Sunnytail was seen chasing a kitty pet off of the territory the clan has encountered Crunchy. So Crunchy is our half-initiate, of course, who has not entirely committed to the vampiric or, the initiate way of life. He does go back from time to time to his 2 legs, but then when he gets curious, he wanders back to the mountain and he spends time with the initiates outside the ruins. But I suppose he's cheeky enough that sometimes when our cats come across him, they kind of chase him away. So he's half a member of Initiate Clan, but I don't think we have accepted him as Initiate Clan. It's almost as though the Initiates have kind of welcomed him in, but the vampires, they're a bit iffy about him. It's a bit of a situation. And now we have our fledglings. Newly made apprentice Pinepaw touches noses with his mentor Sunnytail. I was a little bit surprised by this, but you know what? I think it's okay and I think it's good because Sunnytail has been quite invisible for a lot of his life within at least within his family, and I think this might be a good chance for him to be able to shine and to build a connection with someone. And then we have, let's see, almost immediately after Ibispaw touches noses with Quiet Flight, she starts asking about when they're going to go out and explore the territory. So this pairing is, I think, a more comfortable one because it's mother and daughter. Now, Quiet Flight's favorite child is Pinepaw, but I don't think Quiet Flight would be too torn up about Pinepaw being mentored by Sunnytail. I think she is gonna do a good job, training Ibispaw, and this might be a good chance as well for mother and daughter to bond a bit more. And then Fawnpaw can't seem to sit still as he bounces up to touch noses with Burnleaf, Master Burnleaf, swearing he'll be the best warrior the clan has ever seen. Now I was a bit surprised, I think, by this one. Just because I kind of figured that since Blue Jay stood out in the patrols in the last episode, maybe Shivering Star would give Blue Jay a chance to train one of the youngsters. But instead, he has given Master Burnleaf another chance. But I suppose it makes sense because Master Burnleaf last time trained, the Owl Princess. So he's kind of proven that he's really good at what he does. So obviously, the clan leader, the Grand Master, is going to want to make sure Burnleaf is one of the mentors because he has a bit of a success rate. So there is that. But the other thing, guys, because Fawnpaw is this bright orange cat, almost like Burnleaf in appearance. I wonder if this is Shivering Star trying to kind of give Burnleaf a chance to experience maybe what it would have been like if he had trained his daughter. Even though Fawnpaw is, different from his daughter, it's not quite the same. But still, I wonder if there's that sentiment behind it as well. But okay, let's take a look at our youngsters. Look at them, guys! Look at our fledglings! So we'll start off with Pinepaw. His green tint definitely is looking more apparent as he gets older compared to the blue of his mother. But here is Pinepaw with his beautiful emerald eyes. He is bloodthirsty, so there is that. Constantly climbing, and Sunnytail is a nervous cat. So I find this very funny that Shivering Star, who is Sunnytail's mentor, has decided to pair up Sunnytail with a almost out of control little one. I wonder if this is more for Sunnytail than it is for Pinepaw, because Shivering Star was unable to train the nervousness out of Sunnytail, but I wonder if he wants to challenge that nervousness a little bit by giving Sunnytail a fledgling that is going to kind of intimidate him a little bit, keep him on his toes. So I'm very curious to see how this is all going to pan out and how Sunnytail's going to be able to handle the bloodthirst of Pinepaw. So there is that. Then we have Ibispaw over here. Lovely cat, seeing more of the white that she has. It's kind of cute that she has like one white sock and then she's got white on the tip of her tail. She's shameless and quick-witted, and her mother is charismatic. This might actually be a good match in that regard, because I feel like Quiet Flight as maybe a magnetic cat is actually going to be able to, I think, get along well with Ibispaw and maybe not be as embarrassed by her shamelessness. I think she'll, like Quiet Flight as a mentor, will be able to adapt to the situations her daughter pulls her into quite well. And likewise, I think Ibispaw is going to find that she doesn't have much to be embarrassed about around her mother. She's going to have like all the space to kind of explore what she wants. And finally, we have Fawnpaw, who looks so cute. I love that he has the white socks. It's just the cutest thing ever. It looks so nice with his, ginger coat and his blue eyes. But he's childish and quick to make peace. And Burnleaf is lonesome. So this was another reason why I thought that maybe this is kind of Burnleaf's chance to experience what it would have been like if he had trained his daughter instead, because she used to be quite like a bright, energetic sort of cat, making a lot of noise. And Burnleaf kind of liked that difference. He liked that contrast between himself and Fire Ivy. And Fawnpaw, he's got that childishness, he's got that energy. So it's almost as though he kind of has his daughter back in some capacity. So I'm excited to see what all of these pairings get up to. And honestly, I have no clue who is going to work better with each other in terms of who has the advantage and disadvantage. If we go, let's see. Burnleaf has the advantage, so that's Fawnpaw. Fawnpaw's advantaged right now because his mentor is the most experienced. And Pinepaw has the least amount of advantage. He's disadvantaged, in fact, because his mentor has the least amount of experience. And Ibispaw is kind of in the middle. So I'm very, very excited to see how they're going to deal with their particular pairings and also the relationships that are going to happen between the mentors. Ibispaw has a unique advantage with her mother because obviously it's like family. And family, I feel like would be able to get along much better. Not that it's always the case. Okay, let's check up on the Medicine Cat Den. Hazelpelt is no longer sore. Hazelpelt gathered mallow, marigold, and burdock this moon. And then let's go look at relationships. Blue Jay sees a glimmer of determination in Grandmaster Shivering Star's eyes, so I suppose she doesn't really blame Shivering Star for not choosing her as one of the mentors, even though she stood out last time. Maybe Blue Jay kind of feels as though mentoring is not really her thing. Maybe she recognizes that, you know, Burnleaf is good at that, but it's not really my thing. Pine Kid lets Blue Jay grab a piece of fresh kill first. How respectful of him. Master Burnleaf thinks that Lightsong stole one of his ideas. Pine Kid notices Master Burnleaf sulking around camp again. Twilight Fade and Quiet Flight have a race. Quiet Flight wins. So it's good to know that Twilight Fade is still spending time with his former fledgling, Quiet Flight. Maybe that's going to ease some of the jealousy between Quiet Flight and Lightsong. Because I think for a bit there, it kind of felt like now that Twilight Fade and Lightsong were mated to each other, that Twilight Fade would become like entirely hers and he wouldn't really spend, you know, the time he had with Quiet Flight to hang out with her, but I think it's good. Twilight Fade and Fawn Kid get their first stuck together with some sap. Grandmaster Shivering Star finds the way Fawn Kid acts increasingly uncomfortable, so he doesn't like Fawn Kid's childishness. Grandmaster Shivering Star helps Hazelpelt work through something difficult that happened to him. Lightsong thinks that Grandmaster Shivering Star is more talented than her. Quiet Flight tells her clanmates that something's off about Sunnytail. Oh. So we have some mental rivalries happening over here between some of the Mistwalkers. Quiet Flight, doesn't really approve of Sunnytail as a mentor. Maybe Quiet Flight sees the dynamic between... Actually, this is so funny. Hold on a second, guys. This is so funny because in the last batch of apprentices we had, Burnleaf started hating, or Burnleaf didn't like his favorite child's mentor, which was Lightsong. And now Quiet Flight is doing the same thing. She doesn't like her favorite child's mentor. What is up with these parents? Yeah, Quiet Flight doesn't like Sunnytail. Maybe because she's seeing the dynamic between Pinepaw, who has a very strong personality, very strong bloodthirsty personality, and nervous Sunnytail, and she thinks something's off about him. Like, how is he going to be able to teach Pinepaw and bring out the best in Pinepaw when he can't even contain Pinepaw? So, what is these, like, helicopter parents? I don't know. I don't know. Iris Kid compliments one of Quiet Flight's friends. Hazelpelt confesses something to Blue Jay but realizes she can't relate at all. Hazelpelt stops and thinks before assuming the worst of Fawn Kit. This is your kitten, Hazelpelt. Your invisible younger son, but you need to be nice. You need to be nice. Don't be so judgy. Don't be so judgy. Just because he's not Ibis Kid. Owlfeather sees Grandmaster Shivering Star whispering suspiciously to a clanmate. When a clanmate passes by holding stinking herbs, both Sunnytail and Lightsong gag. Pinepaw noticed Fawn Kid is doing his best today. Look at that! Pinepaw, even though he's bloodthirsty, I suppose has a bit of a soft spot for his brother, and is noticing that he's like trying, he's trying his best. Irispaw and Hazelpelt have a long discussion about goals and aspirations and find that they don't agree on many things. Oh. Now, these two have a very close bond. I suppose Irispaw maybe wanted to check in with her father, since she'll be training with her mother, about, the things that she's hoping for, the things maybe she might want to learn in her training, or even Hazelpelt imparting the values that he has and maybe what she should focus on. And this is the first time that they really saw a clash in their opinions. And Irispaw obviously has, I think, always been following her father around everywhere. So, this is a bit of a hit. Master Burnleaf stands up for Fawnpaw during a patrol. Look at that! They're already having a bit of a good bond going on, Burnleaf and Fawnpaw. I like it. Okay, so it seems as though some pairings are going smoother than others. But actually, I think all the mentors are getting along well with their... Well, no mentor particularly has a problem with, their fledgling. But yeah, definitely Burnleaf and Fawnpaw getting along well, better than the others. They've made a bit more progress here. Okay, so that is all we have for events. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with our cat list, starting off with loyalties. There was nothing new that happened on this front, so everything is still very much the same. And I didn't notice any significant changes across our relationships either. We don't have any whispering to do, so let's just go ahead and see what everyone's up to for the day. Grandmaster Shivering Star is relieved Leaf Bear is finally over. Master Burnleaf is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Hazelpelt is exploring unclaimed lands while searching for herbs. Twilight Fade wonders if mediating is meant to be so draining, or, whispering is meant to be so draining. Blue Jay forgot where she put something, and every other cat offers to help her find it. So it's good to know the clan is being attentive to Blue Jay. Quiet Flight wants to go hunt, probably take out her daughter as well to see maybe what she can do. I'm wondering if Ibispaw is maybe being influenced by like her mother's plans, or I suppose they probably had a discussion about the type of things that Quiet Flight wants to achieve, and Ibispaw excitedly maybe took that to her father to discuss with him, and that's the first time they really hit a roadblock, because Ibispaw was kind of on board with what Quiet Flight was saying, but it was maybe a little bit different to what her father had in mind for her. Lightsong is playing Mossball with Pinekit. Sunnytail explores the territory with his sister Owlfeather. Okay, interesting, because they never used to spend any time together when Fire Ivy was alive, because Owlfeather, for whatever reason, she preferred spending time with Fire Ivy than Sunnytail. But now that it's just the two of them, I suppose they're spending more time together. They're probably, forced to rely on one another for certain things. Owlfeather is batting at a beam of sunlight. Pinepaw draws blood during battle training and coldly says it was an accident. Ibispaw got caught trying to sneak out of camp without a Mistwalker. Ibispaw. Fawnpaw thought he saw a cat, but turns out it's a two-legged object that just looks like one. So it already seems like some of the youngsters are going to be a bit of a handful to take care of. I wonder if Hazelpelt... Actually, you know what else makes sense? With this behavior of Ibispaw trying to sneak out of camp, I wonder if Quiet Flight's plan for her is a little bit more, it's a bit more bold and daring than what maybe Hazelpelt had in mind, especially because as a kitten, Ibispaw recovered, or she, went through kitten cough, and that was a really hard time for Hazelpelt because he got freaked out. He almost thought he was going to lose his daughter, but she recovered from that. However, I do think the incident would have made Hazelpelt more protective over Ibispaw, and maybe he was hoping that she would have a more sheltered training rather than what Quiet Flight has in mind, which is, more exposure. So that could be the root of the disagreement, and Ibispaw being shameless, quick-witted. Maybe she wants to go out and explore. Maybe she likes what her mother's telling her about the things she's going to learn. Interesting. She's growing up too quick for Hazelpelt, I think. Okay, well, that's what we have for the cat list. So let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Let us resume with our patrols. We currently have 66.5 prey and we need 30.5, so we don't have to worry about food. We're going to get our Nightstalker, Hazelpelt, to go out of the ruins to see what he can find. Hazelpelt heads out into the territory to stock up on cobwebs, something the clan never seems to have enough of. Proceed. Overtired from caring for his patients all day and night, the only cobwebs Hazelpelt manages to collect are the ones he accidentally walks into. Okay. And then we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 3. So I'm very excited to see how the mentors are going to decide. And, okay. So Burnleaf is sticking very close to Fawnpaw. So is Sunnytail. Okay, so is Sunnytail. And Quiet Flight is doing the same with Ibispaw. Nice, so all the mentors have decided they want to stick really close to their apprentices. And then in the patrol of 6, we have Blue Jay and Grandmaster Shivering Star. Okay, Ibispaw might get a bit of an advantage because she is going on the smaller patrol, which is very much in line with, I think, what Quiet Flight wanted for her, which was more exposure and not really safety, or not being sheltered. So let's see what the big patrol gets up to. As the patrol is marking the borderlines, a gang of rogues leaps out from behind a tumble of rocks. An ambush. Oh no, ambushes are dangerous. I mean, sometimes you can get away unscathed, But this is the first patrol for Fawnpaw and Pinepaw, our two boys. Okay. Before I click proceed, just thinking of like the worst case scenario. This is their first patrol out. They have no experience. They could very well die. If they die from this is going to be like the vampire curse of not having princes and only having princesses. Because from this litter, only the girl is in the other patrol. Like, she's the only one not present here. The two boys are. I actually thought we might get a prince this time around. I mean, they might get away from this unscathed, but I actually thought we might get a prince because we had two boys in this litter. I don't know what it is. It's like the curse of the vampires. But, okay. I'm worried, guys. I'm worried. This could go really bad, or this could go really good. I've had, like, instances. Oh, geez, I'm getting nervous now. I have had instances where 5 cats from a patrol of 6 have died during ambushes, and I've had instances where none of them have died. Okay, let's go. Pinepaw revels in the battle, leaping into the fray with his teeth bared and claws unsheathed. The rogues are quickly driven away by the patrol. Pinepaw, you hero! Oh my goodness. Look at that. Pinepaw really stood out. This is his first patrol, and he basically like fought the others, fought the rogues and pushed them back. He probably like freaked them out so much, and they probably thought they had like a demon cat on the field or something. And the fact that he's a vampire. Oh my goodness, Pinepaw. Those rogues definitely did not know who they were messing with. Wow, okay. That makes me like Pinepaw like a whole heap more. And I kind of love the idea that Sunnytail maybe was a bit too freaked out to realize what should be done. But as soon as he saw Pinepaw, like shredding through the other cats, he kind of jumped into the fray as well. Oh my goodness, Pinepaw. I'm gonna feel so more secure on every patrol that has you now. Okay. And then we have Ibispaw, Owlfeather, and Quiet Flight. So let's see what these guys get up to. The patrol spots a badger making a den on Gossamer clan territory. Now these are the vampire hunters that we are currently allied with. Proceed. Quiet Flight is not willing to let any cat die to a badger. She orders the patrol to continue on while she waits on a Gossamer clan patrol to come by to give them a warning about the badger. Okay, look at Quiet Flight. So she, again, maybe is doing something unconventional. And in a way is teaching her daughter that we don't always have to fight the vampire hunters. There are times when we can prove that we are different to what they think our nature is by looking out for them. So okay, our relations with them have improved, thank goodness. But okay, that is all we managed to get done today, guys. It was quite eventful, I think, not only with us having our 3 fledglings age up, but also with having that very, very freaky ambush where I thought we might just lose our 2 boys. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.